everybody, welcome to episode 3 of Laying the Foundation. Today we're going to be talking about the making of a project. And this year we have the privilege of being a part of Echo Means Business User Advisory Group 2022. My name is Jenneka.
I'm Jared.
We're from J&J Property Pros, and we have our special guest with us,
Dylan, NatureWorks Enterprises.
Yeah.
Who'll be helping us talk more about how to get our projects going. So
this should be good. Let's get into it. So Dylan, what do you think the first tool that someone getting into the hardscaping business should purchase? What is the first number one tool?
most crucial.
Most crucial, definitely a level and a good one. Because
True that.
That ties together the whole project. Long term, how it will last. No puddles or settling. Like, you got to get a good level and use it well. That's the key to it.
So you would not suggest eyeballing it?
Absolutely
And
not.
what
no.
are your thoughts on the laser levels, things like that?
Yeah, I mean, starting out, a string and a level and a tape measure is all you really need. But, when you want to speed up the process and, don't have to trip over strings all the time, definitely get a good laser level, have it calibrated, and, that'll be your best friend on the job site. So.
Absolutely. I mean, as far as a base goes, in the Northeast, because we go through so many frost cycles, and it's just a bear on occasion, how deep do you go for material?
So, anywhere from, 4 to 8 inches, and you don't want to use item 4 or sand. You want a clean aggregate,
Okay.
So like a 3/4 inch crushed stone, not rounded. You want a crushed aggregate. Everything locks together, but it allows water to drain freely. You see jobs that oftentimes fail. It's because they use item 4 and sand, which hold moisture, freeze and thaw cycle. Everything gets all
And it just
messed up. Yeah.
So that would be a great base and really pack it in tight and create that drainage.
Right. Yeah, and compaction too. Gravel actually, doesn't need as much compaction. It's pretty much compacted. I mean, you do have to tamp it out, and you got to, use the proper lifts, but it's a much more, fail-safe method, and you have to use fabric too, geotextile fabric to separate. Your aggregate from the virgin soil is crucial. You can't skip on that.
Now, if you were, for instance, like laying pavers, what's the next layer that you recommend? Because I've heard people recommend different things. And some things work in California, some things work in New York, sometimes it doesn't work. What do you use as a base for your pavers?
Yeah, so as a base, typically I use a 3/4 inch gravel or sometimes 57 stone, which is, a mixture of like 3/4, 1/2 inch, and 3/8, but no fines in it, so it's free draining. And then, for my screed base, I'll use a either 3/8 or a 1/4 inch clean crushed gravel, washed, clean, no fines in there, allows water to pass through. But
do you think it functions better than sand? Because I know a lot of guys, I swear by sand, but I found that sometimes you see it starting to get all funky. Sand just doesn't seem to settle well.
It's not.
Or what's your take?
Well, the issue with sand, I find, sometimes there's, little cracks where it can wash through, and little by little, like an hourglass, the sand washes out, whereas, 1/4 inch or 3/8 especially, it can't fit through a paver joint, if you don't get everything 100%. So it's a much more fail-safe method. A larger aggregate's always better.
Got it.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of taking your projects to the next level, in terms of ease of getting the project done, and now in the beginning, for sure, your level, your measuring tape.
Right.
But when you are looking to get equipment, what would you say is the first thing to set your sights on?
I mean, personally, as far as heavy equipment, a mini excavator is key, and definitely with a thumb on it. I mean, that opens you up to, from moving rocks. You could scoop right out of the dump truck or your dump trailer and put it right where you want it. A skid steer, in my opinion, is clumsy. It tears up the whole lawn. The excavator's nimble. You can get it over a fence, over a wall. It's to me personally, I think that's, the most ideal piece of equipment. You can dig with it, load with it, grade with it.
You can do everything.
Yeah.
Everything. I mean, if someone is going to start out, do you think they should do pavers first, dry laid stone,
what's the best way to
stone?
start?
What's the best thing to get your feet wet? Should they go work
materials.
with somebody? What do you think would be a good start for them?
Yeah, I mean, pavers, there's a lot of support with pavers, so there's, through the manufacturer, through, the supply houses, they offer a good bit of support, whereas traditional dry laid stone is a skill and it's not as precise. All pavers, 2 3/8, everything's the same,
right.
But with natural stone, you really have to have a feel for it and really know how to level it and build it right, because it's a little more, it's not as foolproof
right.
as pavers. You
right.
really have to build it right and big enough and, have a good foundation for it to really be able, to last a long time. Whereas pavers are pretty dry cut as long as you follow the directions. I mean, it's not foolproof, but it's easier to do a better job.
It's kind of like getting your feet wet. You have
right.
your systems and modes, and gives you the concepts.
You have your materials.
And then you
right.
can kind of progress onto maybe a harder job where you actually have to think outside the box and create the system to make
right.
it work.
Yeah, I mean, just like with anything, you got to take baby steps and sort of grow into it.
It's important,
you
right?
can't,
build it.
Exactly. You can't
Rome
bite
wasn't
off,
built in one day, right?
Yeah, you can't bite off more than you can chew, and
right.
little by little, and then you work your way up to bigger projects and different materials. Then you can start experimenting too. So.
Right. Would you think a dump truck is necessary, or do you think someone can just function with a dump trailer?
Yeah. Or just a trailer?
I mean, I'm all for the dump trailer. You could drop it off, leave it there.
Right.
For the cost of a dump trailer and the cost of a dump body to have it upfitted on a truck is the same price, but you get so much more with the dump trailer. And especially up by us, we have DOT, which we love so much. Because,
yes, it just brings joy to our
DOT.
lives.
Yeah, so you
don't we know it?
Yeah, so you always have to worry about that, but you could get away
right.
with a little, with a little more gross weight.
Right.
You could avoid the CDL issue, with the dump trailer. Whereas the dump truck, it's easier for guys to back it up.
Right.
But once you get backing it up down, it's so much more versatile. You could haul your equipment in it, your skid steer, your excavator.
So kind of less hassle.
Yeah, I'm very pro dump trailer.
Dump trailer?
It's an all-inclusive
yeah.
dump trailer. It does a lot.
Yeah.
It does a lot.
As an industry, do you think it has growth, or do you think it's saturated, or what's your take?
No, I mean, there's tons of landscapers around, but the ones that last, have a reputation, integrity, they do good work. So you have your chucks in a truck.
Yes.
And then you have the guys that, they last the test of time.
They mean
so,
business,
yeah.
Wow, Dylan, thanks for sharing with us today. We
no
appreciate you
Coming in
being
clutch,
here.
as
Our
always.
third and final
Yes.
episode of Laying the Foundation with Dylan from NatureWorks. Thank you again for joining us.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
We appreciate everyone tuning in. Please make sure to give Echo Means Business a follow on all social media platforms.
All of them.
They provide amazing tips to help you grow your business. So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah.